L'honorable député de Laurier-Sainte-Marie, 5 minutes pour compléter cette étape.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in the last few months, I have heard from many stakeholders about Bill C-398. I have met with brand name and generic pharmaceutical companies. I have met with NGOs. I have met with so many Canadians who want to see this bill pass. In the last week only, I've received over 2,800 emails of support to my office. The grandmothers collected over 23,000 signatures in support of this bill through their cross-Canada petition. Bill C-398 has the support of more than 80 international NGOs, including Médecins Sans Frontières, Apostolic Faith Mission in Lesotho, the Church of Scotland, and the UK's Stop AIDS campaign. Within Canada, there are over 250 NGOs and community groups in support, including World Visions, Results Canada, ACOSI, Care Canada, UNICEF, Oxfam, or organizations such as the City of Prince Albert and the HIV Network of Edmonton. We have the support of faith leaders across the country. Of course, we know that generic manufacturers support this bill, and they are ready to provide a one-dose AIDS medication for children should this bill become law.
Hear, hear.
And importantly, Mr. Speaker, the brand-name pharmaceutical companies of Canada have written to us to say they do not oppose this legislation. Like us, like all the others, R&D want to make CAMR work. They have stated their guiding principles, and we are in agreement with them, Mr. Speaker. Those include transparency with respect to the product and amount of the product. We agree, and Bill C-398 addresses this. They want to see flexibility with respect to the amount of product sent overseas, so that there'd be enough to meet public health needs. Of course we agree with that. Their concerns about anti-diversions are fair and are addressed in the legislation. Their concerns about eligible countries are fair, and we're open to discuss that at committee stage. And, like them, we agree that products should be approved by Health Canada, and in fact, Bill C-398 does not change that. Finally, they speak of a principle of an appeal mechanism, which is also fair. We have no problem. So, Mr. Speaker, like hundreds of NGOs, like most Canadians, 80%, Mr. Speaker, like the generic companies, the brand-name pharmaceutical industry is ready to see this bill at Foreign Affairs Committee. And my colleagues across the aisle should do so too. In fact, the only people who seem to oppose this legislation are some colleagues on the other side who have been misinformed through outdated and misguided talking points. Their opposition to the bill is based on incorrect information or lack of information. And in this respect, Mr. Speaker, I was a bit surprised to hear the parliamentary secretary and to realize that seemingly the industry minister does not seem to know that the industry is on board with this bill. That's a bit surprising. Or I've heard things about it removes the need for notification of quantities and things like that. I'm flabbergasted, Mr. Speaker. Have these people read the bill? The bill does not do so. I've heard very briefly that it would be costly to the economy. It's not the case. That CAMR works. Well, people who are involved in it say it doesn't work, that it doesn't change the economics of drug supply. Wrong. Competition brings the prices down. That a portion of medicines are already generic. Well, but this bill aims at those that are not generic. I won't go down the list because, unfortunately, I don't have time. But it seems to me it's so important that we as parliamentarians vote on this bill based on correct information. It would be a very sad day if my colleagues on the other side of the House refuse to join the consensus that includes pharmaceutical companies and 80% of Canadians. I urge them to remember when they vote that this bill will save lives. I encourage all my colleagues to take the time to really study the bill. My door is open to them, Mr. Speaker. Next Wednesday, let's vote for life. Let's vote for camera reform.
That completes this stage of the debate.